Hello, everyone. Welcome to this InfoDay for the call for Blue challenges in the framework of BlueLightS project. We are here today to give you some further information regarding the Blue challenges. We hope you enjoy this webinar. And I'm here with lovely colleagues from around Europe. We'll give the floor to dear Celia. She's going to present the agenda, and then we will proceed with the presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, welcome everyone to this Info Day for Blue Challenges. We're very pleased to see you here and that you are interested in this great opportunity. This is a very special moment where 3 sister projects are launching their calls for schools to be making projects for Blue schools in parallel, which is the Pro Bleu project, the Shore project, and our BlueLightS project. And they all have slightly different conditions, which will all be explained in this webinar. And this is what makes this Info Day so very important, that you understand where the different nuances are and where for you personally or for your school, the better opportunities lie. We ourselves, our team here is from the BlueLightS project. And I just want to sort of make clear that we are focusing on schools and giving you the big opportunity to apply for funding to bring Blue education into your schools and to your pupils. But our project has also a much wider idea, which is trying to bring Blue education in general into Europe on all sorts of different levels. Obviously, schools are the main cornerstone for all this, but we're also working on additional aspects, such as, for example, engaging and mobilizing other stakeholders or engaging citizens into Blue education, and in the long run to hopefully develop a roadmap of how Blue education can be brought not only into schools, but into education systems across Europe. And in principle, our project has got 16 partners from 10 countries, and we've got a few represented here who will work you through the whole info session. And let me just introduce quickly you to the agenda, what's awaiting you today, which is first of all, Irene from InfoDay will show you how this webinar will run and give you some housekeeping rules. And then Natasha will tell you about the free funding opportunities and the specifics of the BlueLightS call. Dominica will put this all into a very wide context of the network of Blue schools, so that you can see the connection to the European network of Blue schools. And then Nutza will introduce you at the end, well, not the end, will introduce you to the community of practice, which we are developing and which is a great tool for you to develop your projects, to make networking connections and find other interested parties and stakeholders to help you with projects and becoming Blue schools. And not to forget, at the end, we will have questions and answers, very important, and give that enough time. So I hope you enjoy this info session and it will help you on your way. We will receive lots of great projects from you.
So it's my turn again. Just a few guidelines on how to interact. I don't know if you're familiar with Zoom. In the screen, you can see the options. Actually, there is a menu, an horizontal menu on the down part of your screen. So there you can see with who you want to interact. Most probably you want to share your question, just like Ines did already. And you can refer to who you wish to get an answer from. The other option is that you can raise your hand and open your microphone so that you can share your opinion loudly. And then there is this Q&A little thing again on the horizontal menu. You can click over there and write your questions, and we will be gladly to answer. Thank you very much. So, Natasha, the floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon from me. The first, I will start with the fact that this is an opportunity, a triple opportunity for funding your school project. There are 3 different projects. Our own is BlueLightS, but also SHORE and ProBlue, that they have announced their call for proposals for schools to get grants starting from 2,500 euros up to 10,000 euros. And they all have closed deadlines. So they all have their deadline in November. Our project, BlueLightS, gives grants are up to 3,000 euros, and the deadline is 15th of November. SHORE project provides grants up to 10,000, and the deadline is on 20th of November. And ProBlue has 3 different grant categories: 2,500, 5,000, and 7,500. With deadline 21st of November. So 3 different opportunities to get a grant for your school. All 3 projects have been launched, and they are available. You can enter their websites and see the specifics for each call and apply. There are some slight difference. All 3 projects are in the field of ocean literacy, water literacy. However, you need to consult each project separately to see the type of activities, the eligible costs, the eligibility of applicants, so to see exactly where you have the better chances to get funded. You have the option to apply in more than one call. However, you will you can have a grant only from one of the projects. You cannot double fund your project from 2 different projects. So I will. You can enter the websites and see each call. For each one of the projects, the document of the call for proposals is the valid information that you need to check before starting developing your application. So I will leave it a few minutes if you want to scan the QR codes and visit the websites. And now I will pass to our own project. BlueLightS is the project that we will present today. And as I said before, this is in a grant initiative that has as objectives to fund blue projects that will have an impact and to promote the mission ocean ambition, and at the same moment expand the network of European blue schools. There is a second objective to mobilize youth and to facilitate e-twinning between schools, support the collaboration between different schools. And third goal of the whole initiative, not only our own project, is to engage, to enlarge, to diversify the schools that are engaged in ocean literacy. So we are looking of different kind of schools. We are looking for coastal and inland schools, and also we welcome schools that they have children with disabilities. Now, regarding specific objectives of our call for Blue Challenges, is that we are looking for projects that are innovative and ambitious. They align with the key principles of Blue education and be a source of inspiration for other schools. As a thematic focus, we address the regional lighthouse issues. That means pollution and plastics in the Mediterranean, ecosystem conservation in the Atlantic, Arctic, Danube, Black Sea regions, and sustainable aquaculture in the Baltic, not excluding other type of projects. And there is a third objective that we will link the projects that will be selected will be engaged in activities, in other activities of Blue Light projects. As Sia explained before, the support to schools is only one activity of our project. Blue Light project will develop a framework for Blue education and wide framework of Blue education involving schools, but not only schools, also the wider community of education policy making. And we expect from the selected schools to be engaged in these activities. Now, regarding the project requirements, we need projects aligned with EU mission. We will need the schools that will be selected either to be part of the network of European Blue Schools or to fulfill the criteria to be a member of the network. My colleague Dominika will present more details about the criteria and about the network of European Blue Schools. We advise schools to utilize e-twinning. It's not. It is one of the award criteria. That means that schools that will select to utilize e-twinning will have some extra points in the evaluation and opportunities to foster European collaboration. And finally, we ask for projects that engage students, teachers, and the wider community and promote ocean and water literacy and sustainability at a wider context. Now, some eligibility criteria. The schools, we expect applications from schools, primary and secondary schools, including vocational education schools. We will select only proposals submitted by schools, not other type of organizations, not NGOs, not public organizations supporting schools. We will need to see proposals from schools. Geographically, the scope of the grant is the 27 member states of the European Union and third countries associated with the Horizon Europe program. And this is the list of the countries that are eligible. I will read them. Albania, Armenia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Faroe Islands, Georgia, Iceland, Israel, Kosovo, Moldova, Montenegro, Morocco, North Macedonia, Norway, Serbia, Tunisia, Turkey, UK, and Ukraine, plus the 27 member states of the European Union. We will fund projects submitted by schools, not projects submitted by individuals in the school, teachers or school staff or students. That means that we will need the application to be submitted having the approval of the legal representative of the school, the director or the principal, because when we will select the projects and then when we will be in the contracting phase, we will ask from the legal representative of the school to sign the project. So they want to be informed. There is a variety of topics that you can address in the project. Here is the whole list. I will not read it. You can find it in the call for proposals, but just to say that the list is very wide and can accommodate very different topics. So I'm sure that every school will find something interesting to design your project and your activities. In terms of activities, of type of activities, there is again a long list of activities that you can include in your project. You can organize study visits and field trips. You can equip laboratories, purchase equipment and set up laboratories for environmental education, blue education. You can organize events like conferences or awareness raising events or workshops or trainings. Activities that involve students. This could be activities like workshops, meetings, events, also study trips, field trips, exhibitions. You can select to develop learning material for lessons. So lesson plans, exercises, audiovisual material for your school subjects, or develop practical lessons outside the classroom. Use outdoor education principles to design your activities. You can have research-based activities. You can spend some part of the grant for communication and visibility of your project, but not only of your project, also of the blue education in general. You can organize competitions, e-twinning activities, other open schooling activities, and finally participate in trainings and events. This is different from organizing your own events. You can have some part of the grant to participate in events organized by others. That means, for example, travel expenses or fees. Now, having said that, I'm passing to the eligible course, and you can calculate in your budget, in your grant, cost for travel and accommodation for teachers and for students, cost of equipment, if you want to purchase equipment for laboratories, other goods, works, or services, including, for example, registration fees for activities, for trainings, or for conferences, rental audiovisual equipment for organizing an event, purchase of educational material, resources, or software, communication costs, consumables. And finally, subcontracting, that will be fees for external experts or translation services or production of audiovisual material. If you declare subcontracting, the cost of subcontracting has a maximum of 30% of the total grant. What you cannot ask in the grant are cost for the staff involved in the project. That means cost for the teachers of the school. However, you can ask for fees if you involve external experts. And also ineligible is the real estate if you want to purchase or rent property. Now, the available budget, the project, the BlueLight project, the whole budget that we will distribute in school grants is 325,000 euro. That will be distributed in 3 different calls. I remind that this is the first call of the project. In this first call, we will distribute 100,000, and that we expect with this amount to fund a minimum of 33 projects, an average of 35 to 40 projects. The maximum grant per school is 3,000. The maximum grant per school means that you can ask less, you cannot ask more. If so, we will need in the application form, we will need a calculation of the cost of your project, and based on this, we will evaluate and approve your grant. If your project is more than 3,000 euro, then the budget that you can ask will be 3,000, and the rest you will need to cover it from other sources. There is also a maximum budget per country. If you are situated, if your school is in a European Union country, the maximum amount for this call is 6,000 euros. That means that we estimate to fund 2 projects in EU countries. And for the third countries, it's 3,000. So 1 project in any third country. Once we select the projects, we will do an evaluation of the costs. And if the cost is not reasonable, it's not justified in the proposal, we may approve the project if the project is good, but with a reduced grant. That means maybe some activities are not eligible, or they are not relevant for the project. So we may propose a lower grant for your school. In any case, when the projects are selected, the final grant will take the form of a lump sum. That means that once you deliver the project and you deliver the activities and you document the activities and the results, you will not need to submit any type of supporting documents. The payment of the final grant will be based on what is written in the contract. If, however, the activities of the project are not delivered in full, again, there is the right from the contracting authority, from the partners of BlueLight project, to reduce part of the grant corresponding to the activities not implemented. Now, the payment arrangements. Once we approve the projects and we sign the contracts, we'll distribute 50% of the grant, and the balance payment, the rest 50%, will be paid upon the completion of the project and the submission of a final report, with the requirement that all activities have been implemented as written in the proposal. If the activities are not completed successful, then the the project, BlueLight project, retains the right to recover part of the grant. All the payments will be made in euros, and responsible for contractualization and for handling papers is the legal representative of the school. The beneficiaries that are eligible to apply in the call for Blue Challenges are public or private schools legally established in one of the eligible countries and offering official curriculum up to said level 3. That means primary and secondary education. In some countries is up to 18 years old. In some countries it may be even 19 years old. We will not fund kindergarten or pre-primary education. The applications will be submitted by the legal representative. We told about geographical scope. The funding restrictions, I have told it, but I will say it once more. The selected projects, once we select the projects, we will compare the selection results with ProBlue and SOAR. So if you have already received funding in the past from ProBlue and SOAR, please do not submit an application because it will be rejected. If you apply in this call in more than one projects, then we will compare the selection list, and again we will make sure that only that proposals will get only funds from one of the 3 projects. The schools must be members of the network of European Blue School or meet the 5 mandatory criteria, and once they are selected, they will get also membership into the network. Finally, we welcome applications from more than one school, from networks of schools, on the condition that all the partners of the project are schools legally established and they all fill the same criteria, eligibility criteria, as the lead school. Now, a few words about the timeline. We are in the phase now that the call for Blue Challenges is open and you can submit your project. The deadline for submission is on 15th of November, more or less in 1 month from now. We will have the evaluation, the project's evaluation, for 2 months until 17th of January, and we will announce the results on 20th of January. We will need also some, maybe 1 month to sign the contracts, to announce the results and sign the contracts, and then you can start implementing your project roughly on March, beginning of March, until the end of July. So the duration, the project duration will be from a minimum of 2 months up to 5 months. At last, there are, apart from the eligibility criteria, there are also some criteria for awarding the projects, the submissions. The maximum score that your proposal can have is 100 points, and this is awarded in 3 different criteria. The first set of criteria is about relevance. The criteria for relevance have a maximum of 35 points and a threshold of 21 points. And as overall, we will fund projects that they reach at least 70 points in the evaluation. So we aim to fund applications, proposals from schools that they are excellent, they are very good, and they will be like model school projects for the whole community of Blue schools. So the relevance is 35 points, and the sub-criteria is alignment with mission ocean priority, commitment to circularity, carbon neutrality, and climate pact pledge, collaboration with other schools, especially with Blue Schools network, support for schools in isolated, low-populated or landlocked regions, inclusion of disadvantaged students, emphasis on 21st century skills and EU values, originality of the proposed idea. And then we have 30 points for quality, and the sub-criteria for quality are innovative ocean and water literacy activities, engagement of the school community, effective project management and experience team, sound risk assessment and prevention measures. And finally, for impact, 35 points, positive effects on the school community, broader impact on the local community, contribution to the goals to restore our ocean and waters by 2030, and the EU for Ocean Coalition. I stress the fact that these sub-criteria are not mandatory. That means that you don't have to fill all of them. Covering these criteria, you get points. So, for example, when we say support for schools in low-populated or landlocked regions, that doesn't mean that we will not fund schools from coastal regions or urban regions. However, we will give some extra points to schools that fulfill this criteria to prioritize somehow. But this cannot exclude projects that are from big cities. If you don't have students with disabilities, if you are not isolated or not a landlocked region, don't be frightened to submit your proposal. You will be evaluated fairly. However, we will give some few extra points in schools that cover some of these criteria. At the end of the day, there are a lot of sub-criteria. We don't expect one proposal to cover everything. So you will. This is a competitive process. Submit your project. Pay attention to cover as many criteria as you can, and then the rest is luck. So, if you want more information about BlueLightS call, you will go in our website, bluelights.eu/grant for schools. In the website, you will find the call for Blue Challenges. The call is a PDF file that you need to open and read very carefully. The call prevails from any information that you will hear here or the FAQ, or so in case of contradictory information, the information that is written in the call is the valid one. You will also find in the website, you will also find the link to the online application form, plus a Word document that is for information purposes only. You don't fill the Word document. You will not submit a Word document filled with your project. You need to submit it online. You have the option in the website to consult our team. So there is a There is a form, a contact form that you can fill in if you have a question, and you will receive a reply. And we will publish, we have already gathered some questions, and we will publish next week questions and answers in the project website, in this URL that you see here. Also, this video, this webinar that we have today, the InfoDay, is being recorded, and it will be uploaded if you want staff from your schools or other schools to get informed about the call for Blue challenges. So, once we have done the selection, we will announce the results on estimated days on 20th of January. We will announce the list of selected projects, the list of the projects that are in the reserve list. So if the selected projects will not reach contractualization, we may ask from the reserve list, and also the list of non-approved projects. You will get, in any case, you will get a notification, an email notification with the results of the selection and the evaluation of your project, the feedback. The results will be published in the BlueLightS website, in social media, and also in the funding and tenders portal. We will not publish the projects with the title, the name of the school, in order to avoid negative publicity. We will assign a code in its project, and we'll publish with the codes. So once the projects are selected, we will have a formal acceptance of funding, contractualization, and the process of certification to the network of European Blue schools. And that is the end of my presentation. I give the floor back to Irini.
Thank you, Natasha. I would like to say that we already have a few questions. I've replied to everyone that questions will be answered by the end of this webinar. There is a specific session for that. And again, I shared all the information regarding the calls via the project's website. It's already available in the chat. Thank you for your presentation. I'm kindly inviting Dominika to share her presentation now and continue with this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. I will share my screen now. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, full screen.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dominika Wojcieszek, and I work for the European Marine Science Educators Association. One of my tasks there is to manage the network of European Blue Schools Secretariat. So I am the person on the forefront of the network of European Blue Schools. I evaluate the applications. I am in touch with the teachers. I organize meetings with them and try to support them in any way I can. So to give you a little bit of the background first on where did the network of European Blue Schools come from, European Blue Schools is a network that is part of a bigger initiative called EU for Ocean Coalition. It was started and initiated by the European Commission in order to make European society more ocean literate. So in short, European Commission believes that our society needs to be better educated about the ocean so we can manage our ocean resources in a more sustainable way. And the EU for Ocean Coalition consists of three groups or three pillars. One of them is the EU for Ocean platform, which gathers businesses, research institutions, NGOs, all sorts of organizations that are involved in ocean literacy and blue education. Youth for Ocean Forum is a forum for young people ages 16 to 30 to exchange ideas, collaborate, develop ocean literacy projects. And here in the middle, we have the network of European Blue Schools, which brings together schools and teachers from European Union, so from 27 member states, but also from the countries associated with the Horizon Europe program that Natasha already listed during the presentation about the BlueLightS call. If you scan the QR code that I put here, you will see the network of European Blue Schools site on the Maritime Forum, which is the website of the European Commission, and you can learn more there. So what is a blue school? What is a European Blue School? It simply, in the simplest terms, is a school that brings the ocean into the classroom. So through project-based learning, students are exposed to the marine and maritime topics in school, and that should help create awareness and a feeling of responsibility for the ocean. And in the network of European Blue Schools, as I already mentioned, we try to support teachers in introducing such topics into school, developing those projects further, finding new collaborators, and working on bringing more ocean-related topics into their school and maybe one day into the curriculum. So what are the foundations of European Blue Schools? First of all, project-based learning. This is a grassroots or a bottom-up initiative. So the ocean knowledge cannot be introduced directly into the curriculum right away, but through projects that sort of intertwine through different subjects or the curriculum, through real life learning and 21st century skills like problem solving or teamwork or creative thinking. That's how ocean literacy and blue education can be brought to school. Open schooling, which is based on creating a different school ecosystem and open in terms of time and place, which means it does not have to be restricted to the classroom. Although we have quite a lot actually blue projects, blue schools that were certified through projects that were conducted completely in the classroom. We do encourage this education to be open, to get outside of the school, to not necessarily do it in 45 or 40-minute increments, how it's usually done in schools, but to make it more open and more flexible. Another thing that we're trying to promote through Blue Schools is encouraging young people to undertake blue careers. This is a sector that needs more sustainable knowledge and sustainable practices. So blue careers are very important at Blue Schools. Although, again, this is not really necessary or required for like every project or every school, as we also have schools that are from landlocked countries or located away from the coast. So not the most important part. And we encourage the teachers and the students to be the agents of change. So to think global and act local, and to support the concept of education for sustainable development. Natasha, slides are not changing. Okay, change. Sorry. Natasha already mentioned the criteria that we have in Blue Schools, and the same criteria are, of course, required for the BlueLightS call, so that each school that gets funded can then automatically become a European Blue School. We have 10 criteria, but 5 of them are mandatory and 5 of them are optional. So the first one is develop a project with interlinked activities. As I already mentioned, project-based learning is one of the foundations of Blue Schools. So it should be a project with activities that are connected and sort of create one big thing. Produce a clear output. So the project has to have some sort of result. It doesn't have to be a tangible result in the sense of like a product that you can touch. It can be an art show. It can be a conference for students. Sometimes we have social media campaigns. Sometimes we have podcasts, documentaries, just to be able to show, yes, we conducted this project and this is the final result, the end result. Involve all students. To clarify right away, this does not mean all the students in the school. We know it is impossible for many schools, although that happens too. For example, if there is an ocean-focused festival with an art show in school, then usually the majority of students are involved. But the idea of involving all students is that even if it's just one class of like 25 students, each of them has a certain task to do to be part of this project. So they cannot just be the audience watching other students or the teachers doing something. They have to be actively involved. Collaborate with a local partner is very important as well, because the idea behind this criterion is for students and teachers to reach out to someone with additional knowledge to share with them. Although it says local partner, it does not necessarily have to be, in the same city or right next door. We have a lot of collaborations that were conducted online, for example, through like an online meeting and a lecture with a scientist, or through collaboration, a more in-person collaboration through collaborations with aquaria, museums, all sorts of NGOs, but also municipalities. And it's very common to, for example, partner with companies that are responsible for recycling in projects that are focused on ocean pollution of like plastics in the ocean and topics like that. So this collaboration is important to bring in some external knowledge for the students and the teachers as well. And communicate project results. So to just let your community know that that you conducted this project. So it can be an article on your school's website, as I mentioned already, art shows or some conferences for students. That is also a way to communicate about your project. Social media campaigns or posts. Of course, we also had projects that made it all the way to local television or radio. That is not necessary, although when it happens, of course, it's nice because it's also the recognition of the hard work of the students and the teachers. When it comes to optional criteria, and you can find more information about this on the website. So to save some time, I'm just going to list the optional criteria, which is provide authentic learning experiences, work in a multi or interdisciplinary way, mobilize beyond the classroom, foster a land sea interaction, and bring in a European dimension. If you want to know more, you are welcome to email me or look on our website. But to save the time, I am not going to focus on the optional criteria. I do want to tell you a little bit about our network, so you know what kind of group you would be potentially joining. So we started in 2020, so maybe remember or not, but that was just smack in the middle of the pandemic, and we're all locked up, so it started slow. But our network has been growing significantly, especially since last year when we, with the Horizon Sister projects, ProBleu and Shore, who were the first to started funding programs for schools, we started growing significantly, and now we have nearly 600 members in our network. To show you a little bit on the map how it looks like, clearly we have the most projects connected to the Mediterranean. It's a big basin with warmer temperatures, so I guess schools are more inclined to conduct their projects in countries bordering the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. But the Baltic and the North Sea still see a significant number and still growing. Just to show you how it looks by country, clearly Spain, also thanks to Celia and Christian, who is not here today. Spain is definitely a leader among European countries with more than 120 schools in the network. Italy and Greece also large numbers. Again, countries with the big connection to the Mediterranean. So why become a European Blue School? As I mentioned, we are a network, so we try to connect people with each other, so teachers and schools with each other, but also with other stakeholders. So with the ocean professionals such as researchers, scientists, or people or companies from the maritime sector. We also want to support teachers and give them access to resources and activities and professional development opportunities. Here, the top QR code is will take you to an online course that we developed with the European SchoolNet that guides you through the way of developing a Blue project that could be used for becoming a Blue school or maybe applying for funding. We also have a few other resources. There was another course, Blue Minds for Teachers. All the resources that we have, we post on the ESEP group. It used to be called eTwinning, now it's ESEP. If you scan this QR code on the bottom, it should take you to that group and you will find all the resources there. So yes, that is what we're aiming for collaboration, for training of teachers and providing them with resources and opportunities. So that is all from me. If you will probably get this presentation. So if you have any questions, you can email me either using my long email with my long name or the info@blueschools.eu. It's much easier, and those emails get directly to me as well.
Thank you, Dominika. While you were presenting, I shared a few links regarding a network of European Blue Schools so that for the rest of the webinar, attendees have the ability to access the link. And now I would like to give the floor to Luca. She's going to speak about the community of practice, which is part of the BlueLightS project. Thank you for being here with us. Giving you the floor.
Thank you, Rat. Thank you very much, Irini. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here. My name is Luca. I'm a project coordinator at CETeach. And in the BlueLightS project, my main responsibility is to build an online platform, which is called the Community of Practice. And as we described the project at the beginning, it is not only for teachers. Obviously, teachers, schools, educators are a big part of Blue education. But here at this Community of Practice platform, we would like to go a little bit further, let's say, and bring basically all the stakeholders, all the actors who has some connections to the Blue education. So the Community of Practice, it's really focusing on Blue education, and the main aim of the Community of Practice is to bring people together. It aims to initiate discussions. It aims to co-build a community, let it be online or on-site. And of course, it is also a very important platform to expand the networks and learn about, for example, how to improve or advance your Blue projects. And if you could go to the next slide, I would like to briefly introduce you the registration process. It is very simple. I tested this morning and it can be done within 1 minute. So really the time is not an excuse to do so. So if you head to the website of the BlueLightS project, on the right corner, you will find the Community of Practice tab. And once you click on it, you click the registration button. And at first, you need to fill out this very simple, easy, quick registration form. Now, you might have the question in your mind, shall I register as an individual, as myself, or maybe as an organization? At first, once you fill out this registration form, you will find a list with those organizations who are already in the platform. So you can check this list. And if your organization is there, you just select this organization and then you complete the registration. Then shortly you will receive an email confirmation, and then you need to follow the steps. Here again, if your organization was already in the list, you don't need to do basically anything else, just to complete the registration as it is written in the email. However, if your organization was not in the list, at first you need to register the organization itself, which means that you will be automatically be the admin of this organization. At each organization, there can be more than one admin. However, we recommend to have maximum 2 people, just to avoid any confusion. And once you have the organization registered, then you can start inviting your team members. However, if you find any technical issues, technical errors, you can always drop an email to us, to this email address at the bottom of the slide, and we are very happy to help you. And why you should join this platform. As I mentioned, it is an exclusive platform, not only for teachers, but basically all the stakeholders, all the actors in Blue education. So it is really a perfect opportunity to, for example, exchange contact, expand your network, or for example, when you have a project in mind but you need project partners, it is a great place to just look for example, companies, research centers, or even freelancer individuals who are marine biologists, artists, or whatever fits your project idea best. Because once you register to the platform, you will be able to access this database of the members, what you can see on the screen. At the moment, we have a little bit above 40 members from all over Europe, from all the fields. And then you can start exchanging with them. Furthermore, this platform will offer, and is already offering, many resources, let it be training materials, case studies, articles, or even recordings exclusively to community members. And then, as I mentioned, it has a function to exchange with other members, which is happening in the forum, which can be found next to the community of practice. At the moment, we have 5 different topics, let's say, what you can discuss. For example, the funding calls for the schools is one of them, but also there is Blue careers or Blue trainings. I would like to highlight that this community of practice platform is still in its infancy, because we just had the launch webinar 2 weeks ago, and we would like to ask your patience, but also we would like to call attention to please get in touch with us. And if you think that there are some improvements that we need to do, or maybe you would like to publish your resources somewhere, we are always happy to hear about you. And I just left the QR code here. The registration to this community of practice can be done from the phone. As I mentioned, it's super easy, it's super quick, and I really hope that I will see you there. And in case of any questions, I stay here at the end of this webinar, or you can also drop us an email. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Luca, for this enlightening presentation. We have finished as far as presentations are concerned, but we have a couple of questions in the chat and one on the Q&A field. I will start with the first one that has already been submitted at the very beginning of this webinar. I'm going to read it aloud. It comes from Ines. I don't know if she's still here. Let me check in the attendees. I don't see her around, I'm afraid. But still, maybe a colleague of her is here and attending. So the question is the following. She has the doubt regarding their participation, as they are not a normal school. They are a private science center that is registered as a regulated preschool education company and something ESO Bachillerato, which might be something with baccalaureate, yes, which corresponds to the CNAE of Technical and Vocational Secondary Education. And they have all the documents where the ministry verifies this information. However, they are wondering whether they are eligible for this call. I guess, Natasha, you might be the one answering.
Yes, I cannot answer definitely because I don't understand this information. I believe it's in, I don't know which country it comes from. Is it Spanish?
Sorry, it's in Spanish. ESO is the secondary school. Bachillerato is also another secondary school, and
Okay.
is vocational school.
Okay. If it is part of the education system of Spain, and it is part of, I believe, if it's formación profesional, it's secondary education. If it is secondary education, yes, I would say that they are eligible, pending information more valid from the Spanish partner of the project that they know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Natasha. Let's see what is the other question. Yes, Molly is kindly asking if we can specify how many applications are received on average per call. I don't know if we have access to this right now, but
for Blue Schools, this is the first call for proposal, so we don't have this information. Pro Blue and sure that they are in second and third call, they have this information, but I don't know at the time. I cannot give an answer.
No one is representing these projects right now, so we cannot actually access this information. And let me check. And on the Q&A section, there is a question coming from an attendee from Turkey, I guess from the name. He says, as a school, they received their Blue School certificate. To continue to be part of a Blue School, do they need to generate new projects and apply to get the certificate again? I guess, Dominika, you might be the one answering.
Yes, sorry. So the way it works for Blue Schools is that now we have levels of Blue Schools. So once you're certified, you are part of the network, and we don't actively remove our members. They're all part of the network, and we share the opportunities and all the meetings and the resources with the whole network. But if you reapply or develop your project further and let us know about this, you can receive a higher level of certification. Does that answer the question?
I guess yes. I think Burtin is attending, so I don't know if he is interested in raising his hand and ask for any clarification. Otherwise, we're done. He's already thanking us. So yes, I think that was clear. So I don't see any further questions. Another one is just Sandra is asking, hello to you too. She just wants to check if she has understood correctly. So far, we have 3 different projects or grants that schools can apply for. Only 1 grant per school. That is SURE, ProBLE, and BlueLight. Yes, that's correct. If her school applies for one of these projects, it needs to have the Blue School certificate before applying for a project. Who would like to answer this, Natasha?
I can reply. You don't need to have a BlueLightS certificate before, but if you don't have, you will need to demonstrate in your application how you will fulfill the compulsory criteria for becoming a Blue School. So if you are selected, automatically you become a member of the network of Blue School. You don't need to apply again in the Blue School network. And
Thanks.
There is another question in the chat.
Really? I've missed that? I'm sorry.
Countries from the Mediterranean region have to focus on pollution plastics. Not necessarily. You can focus on any of the topics, on the themes that are written, that are indicated in the call document. So it's not a requirement that if you don't focus on plastics, your project will be excluded. And I think that's all.
Yes. I don't see any further questions, not up, not down. So if there isn't anything else that we would like to share, I guess we can close this webinar. We're very happy that you were with us the last hour. We hope that this webinar was enlightening for you. We encourage you to submit your proposals and get into this Blue Education family. As far as BlueLightS project is concerned, I would like to thank all ladies for presenting their useful piece of information. And we hope to see you again soon in another InfoDay coming in the next months. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.